Hi, how are you today? My name is Samuel Evander. Call me CPA Samuel Evander. Some people love to call me coach. So I know yet you've continuously wondered, is my CPA course really worth it? And will I earn money after the CPA course? And I know why the reason why you joined the course could be because some people told you that actually when you have the course, the CPA course, you're going to be able to attract good jobs that are going to give you good amounts of money. So I do agree with those people. And definitely, one thing I will tell you is that I always continuously tell my students that if you want to earn more as an accountant, there is no escape route. You need the professional qualification. Either you're doing CPA or you're doing SCCA, you need that professional qualifications as an accountant because it will put you outside there competitively, and you know what? You'll actually receive good amounts of money out of it. Of course, it's not a guarantee that whoever finishes the CPA course is able to get a good job. But one of the things that I've learned, I finished my CPA course about now coming to maybe 7 years back, many years back, I know. But one of the things that I want to tell you, and from the honest background, I want to be as much as honest as possible, sharing my experience, but also what I've heard from my colleagues who have gone through the same course. Now, if you have finished your CPA course, uh, I want to say that you can be able to attract a good pay, and it varies based on the industry and based on the different organizations. But one of the things I want to say is that at least an accountant who has finished CPA, I believe that by that time you have about maybe 3 or 4 years or 5 years of experience. And in 2017, when I finished my CPA course, I think because I started working in 2014, yeah, 2014. So by 2017, I had 3 years experience. So I finished around September there. I graduated in around January, March of 2018, right there, around there. That time I was actually an accountant. I remember I was an accountant in one of the NGOs. Um, and by good luck, when I finished my qualification, what I did, and this is something I encourage you, even you, is on the CPA course, is I informed my employer about my new qualification. So, being an accountant at that time where I was working, having a full qualification, a CPA qualification, was not really mandatory. Yes, you needed to be, let's say, on your journey of your CPA, but it was not mandatory. And it was the next positions that actually required you to have the CPA qualifications. So I informed my HR manager and informed my finance director then for them to know that they have this gentleman in the organization that had finished the CPA course. Now, why I was doing that is because I was trying to position myself for opportunities, any opportunities that would actually come within the organization. I was earning some good amount of money, but I wanted to ensure that yes, I can earn more because finishing CPA itself is it's an investment. You have actually invested a lot even before you actually get to that level of where you finish your CPA course. So it's very important that you actually paid your worth. And I want to tell you that when I finished my CPA course, now I want to tell you, I tried out the market. Even before I'd look at internal opportunities, one of the things that I did is I tried out the market. So this is what I did. That time, I was earning around maybe 2.5, around there, 2.5 million. That is Ugandan shillings. And for my friends who are from Kenya, that might be around about 800K, 800,000. Yeah, around there, to my those friends that are into maybe from Kenya. For those that are into maybe other countries, 2.5 could be around maybe still $800 around there. Yeah, not very good amount of money for many people, especially those that are in economies that are so much developed. But for me, it was some good money. As a man who was young man who is not married, That was money that was okay for me, but I wanted more because I'd added my qualifications and I needed to really have a better pay. So I tried out the market. So this is what I did. I said, I think I want to have, let's say, more money. And I said maybe adding me a million shilling, again, a million shilling, about $300, about around there would really be enough for me. Or 300,000 shillings for my friends in Kenya. I felt like maybe that would be really, 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 really okay. But one thing that I want to say is that I applied for a job and I was called for interviews. And when I was called for interviews, I went there. They interviewed me, and I told them, they asked me how much would you want to earn. So I told them I want to earn 3.5 Ugandan shillings. So 3.5 Ugandan shillings, like, okay. And that's about $1,000. Okay, about 900 maybe in $100. Let me leave it at that. Um, so I was like, okay, that is what I wanted. So these guys actually gave me the money. They gave me a contract with the money, 3.5 Ugandan shillings. That time it was good money, 3.5. Then when I tried to find out from somebody who was working in the organization about how much they were actually paying for that role, somebody actually told me they are paying 5 million. So for me, they had given me the 3.5 because that is what I asked for. So maybe because of my judgment, and this could be something very similar to you, that maybe you totally don't understand how much they can actually pay you once you've done with your CPA course. So when somebody told me they give around 5 million, I was like, no, I need to ask for more. These guys can't just give me this 3.5. And you know what? After evaluating and so on, I actually had to let go of the offer, because it came with other terms. And I also tried to look at internally where I was working, and to see if there were opportunities for me to grow. So I actually used that appointment letter, and presented it to my boss that time. So I told them that this is actually what I've received from this other organization, but I feel um, it's not worthy it, and I feel I have more potential, especially in growing my career in this place. So they listened, and they, of course, they saw me as a loyal employee. And once an opportunity showed up, and within the organization, definitely they really made the way for me. And growing from accountant to become finance manager, I believe that that was really up there. I remember in the organization, you need to first become a senior accountant before you can actually become a manager. But because I was an accountant and I added onto the professional course, the CPA, I think I stood out more. And definitely I was a loyal employee as well. So they were able to give me, and I want to tell you that they doubled my amount. So from 2.5 went to over and above 5 million and plus. That amount grew very fast up there. I will not definitely tell you how much for confidentiality reasons and so on. But I want to tell you that even after a year, there's an organization that called me for an interview, and it was a global organization. And they asked me, how much money would you want us to pay you? Now, because of my previous experience of asking for less, and being given little, that same less, so this organization asked me. So I told them I want, actually my first ask was 8 million Uganda shillings. So then I saw them positively coming. They proceeded with the second interviews, and by the time we got to, I think, the third interview, they asked me the same question again. So I told them I want 10 million. So I'd increased my value now. So, and once we renegotiate, they said we wanted to renegotiate. So they said, can't we make it 8? I was like, let's make it 9 million. And they were like, no, we can't make it 9 million. 9 million is very, very high. So they said, well, we can have a win-win. So they said, can we give you 8.5? It was 8.5, 8.2, yeah, around 8.2 there. That is what I wanted to give me. So I was like, okay, you guys give me the, if that is okay, well, I've accepted. Give me the contract, put that into contract. So they actually documented the contract and actually gave me the contract with 8.2 or 8.5 million. And for my friends that are from Kenya, let me see, what is 8 point in Uganda shillings, and let me just try to calculate very fast here. If it's you can use Google, but 8.5 or 8 million divide by maybe 35. 35 is actually the rate for my Kenyan friends. This gives me about 200, yeah, around 200, 200k there, 228k. So that was an average, and I think for if this is in terms of dollars, that was about 2,000, 2,162 dollars. So very good amounts of money. So I was like, okay, so having a CPA qualification is actually a plus for me, and I think I can demand for more and more money. Now imagine somebody who is giving me about 8 million, and I'm just 2 years, and I think that was 2019. 2019, somebody is willing to give me this amount of money, and I was like, oh, I think I'm for more value. Of course, after evaluating my decisions, that time I had just taken on that role of finance manager and working with an international NGO. I was like, I think I need to be honest with myself. It's not good time for me to move. Despite the money, of course, they were adding me. Definitely, I was earning well the other side as well. What they were adding me was a very small amount of money. I was like, let me retain my job. Maybe good things are really ahead. I don't need to be moving. One of the things that I really do believe is that you don't need to be moving after every opportunity. You sometimes need to sacrifice, build a career, and move when when you're actually ready. For those that have followed me, maybe you might have read about my story. Actually, for me to move from the private sector to NGO sector, I had to let go of a higher pay. I actually moved at a pay cut to move the NGO world. And you know what exactly happened? Within a very small time, within a period, I was promoted from accountant to manager within about 1 year and maybe 7 months, around there. But the salary that I entered on, even if it was a pay cut, it was actually more than doubled when I became actually manager. So it's very important that even as you finish your CPA, you just don't just get into the market and you're searching for the next opportunity. You evaluate and see what is your career like, because it's not just the CPA qualification, friends, that creates an opportunity for you, but also the other thing that you should need to understand is the aspect of experience, relevant experience. Your CPA course needs to be backed up by the relevant experience. And believe me, if you have the experience and you have the papers, you're going to negotiate what you really can earn, because you may just ask yourself, okay, if he got that amount of money that time, what can somebody attract after maybe 5 years? So the more time the more years that you have in terms of your experience, the more better you stand to even convince more people to give you more money. So accountants earn very good amounts of money, and if you're in a good organization, if you have built your key skills, of course, it's not just about the CPA qualification, but continuously redefining yourself and being able to also develop your interpersonal skills. Because one of the things that I would want to tell you is that CPA gives you the technical knowledge. Of course, there are some modules that help you to develop, to understand management skills and so on. But one thing that I want to tell you is that as you finish your qualification, if you're an accountant and want to grow so that your money also actually grows, you need to think of ideas. Okay, you need to grow your skills. The skills that take you from manager to take you from accountant to manager are totally different. So You need to understand what exactly do I need. Do I need to develop interpersonal skills? Do I need to do a leadership course? Do I need to do a management development program? You need to understand what exactly can actually help me to be able to grow from where I am to become who I want to exactly be. So it's very important, and I do believe that we can all get there. It's the investment that you've put into this qualification to get it. It should really reward you, and you should be able to come out successfully and yeah, earn the good amounts of money. And one thing I want to tell you, that how much you can earn is very limitless, and it depends on the organization, depends on the industry. The organizations that will definitely pay you little amounts, the organizations that will pay you very high amounts, even the amounts that I'm talking about, are just the lowest amounts for some organization. I have a friend of mine who moved into the NGO, moved into UN, and they're getting very good amounts of money. You find guys who are getting over 15 million Ugandan shillings, and so on. I think for my friends who are from Kenya, 15 million is over 500 thousand. That's a lot of money for somebody who is just who has just maybe spent 10 years or 5 years. So the more years, the more money. But of course, as an accountant, there are also other opportunities when you finish your CPA course. It's not just about the salary, guys. There are also opportunities that come but with that course. This could be in terms of consultancies that you can really negotiate good values, and people are willing to pay you. From my experience, I believe this really works. I'll be doing a series of videos around this area, especially around accountants being able to make money and being able to benefit, especially around the CPA course. So if this is your first time watching my videos, I would like you to subscribe and share this video with a friend. I've also done a couple of videos on this YouTube channel, so they are very helpful. Please look out for them, and believe me, you will not remain the same. So thank you so much for watching, and I wish you all the best. Those that are still pursuing the CPA course, please stick in there. It is actually worth it. And I would encourage you to also join my classes. I teach at Achievers Professional Trainers, and we are one of those leading training centers within East Africa. So we are ready to teach and equip you with the knowledge. Remember, we are different from others because we teach you from a practical perspective, and we are always looking forward to add value to you, not just the knowledge, but being able to build your skills as well. So thank you so much for watching, and I want to say God bless you. Amen.